Well, folks, there have been a lot of questions about who is actually in control of the country because people look at Joe Biden, they're like, he's not really with us anymore, hasn't been with us for quite a while. And nobody really knows. It could be Susan Rice, could be Ronald Klain, could be maybe somebody else from the Barack Obama administration, or it might be the Easter Bunny. I'm not kidding. I mean, I'm a little kidding, but nobody knows who's quite in this Easter Bunny suit. So yesterday, there was an event at the White House, and Joe Biden started answering questions from people in the crowd about Iraq and Afghanistan. And as soon as he started answering those questions, the Easter Bunny, I kid you not, a person dressed in a giant bunny outfit, like from Harvey with Jimmy Stewart, suddenly was standing next to the President of the United States and actively dragging him away from the reporters. And so we now have the specter of, I hate to break it to small children who are listening, so just get ready. The Easter Bunny isn't real. So you have an imaginary figure arriving to redirect the President of the United States, the most powerful man on planet Earth, away from the journalists. Here is the video. And we're going to do, this is like the Zapruder film. We have multiple angles, and each angle adds a new layer of meaning and I would say happiness to the situation. Like, I would say this is sad, except it isn't. It's really, really, really funny. And there's just no way around that. It's hilarious that the President of the United States, who is in the very early stages of senility at the very least, is now being directed around the White House grounds by a person in a giant bunny suit. That is where we are in the United States. Vladimir Putin must be quaking in his boots. Here is angle number one.
Pakistan should not, and Afghanistan should be people.
Oh, the Easter Bunny, Mr. President.
It's Easter Bunny, and the Easter Bunny starts dragging him. Angle number two. Look at the Easter Bunny. Joe doesn't notice, and the Easter Bunny, Joe's so scared he doesn't know what's going on. And there goes Joe. And he's like, where do I go now? And the Easter Bunny's like, go this way. So who's it? The big question of the day is, who's in the Easter Bunny suit? Who is it? Because that's the person clearly running the country. Could be Ron Klain. Could be Susan Rice. Or, according to this video, it could theoretically be the angel of death. So there's a moment when you close up on Joe Biden's face when this is happening, where Joe Biden doesn't really realize what's coming at him from his right side here. And he turns and is confronted by a 7-foot-tall bunny. And he looks as though the angel of death has arrived at his side to finally take him. Here's what it looks like. Oh, it's the best. The moment where he just doesn't know what's coming at him, and then he just looks to his side, and it's so good, guys. Now, you might say, well, just because, you'd be a little bit taken aback too if you were just having a conversation and suddenly Easter Bunny came to get you. And you're right. I would be taken aback. And also, I would not listen to the Easter Bunny, not only because I'm Jewish, but also because why would I possibly listen to a person in a bunny suit redirecting me away from a crowd of journalists? Like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. If you're the White House and you want to get Joe Biden to come over, wouldn't you at least deploy like a staffer? Like to tap him on the shoulder and say, Mr. President, it's time to, not the Easter Bunny. They deployed the actual Easter Bunny to walk over there and grab him by the shoulder and like turn him around and redirect. Okay, fine. And you might say to yourself, okay, well, you know what? We can put that one aside. Are there any other indicators that the President of the United States is no longer with us? Well, yes, actually, thank you for asking. Edith Wilson, aka Jill Biden, the greatest doctor in all the land, right? In terms of the listings of doctors in America, it goes Dr. Jill Biden, Dr. J, Dr. Pepper, Dr. Fauci, and then way down there on the list are, actual medical doctors who help people who are sick. So they're on the balcony and they're waving to the crowd. And Joe, when I say they, I mean Joe isn't. So Joe Biden says thank you at the end of like a speech. And you'll hear Jill Biden, who's on a hot mic, telling Joe to wave. Always a great indicator that your President of the United States is with us when he has to be told to wave to the crowd. Here's what it sounded like.
Thank you and happy Easter. All right.
Wave. And Joe's like hesitantly waving. That's always a good look. Happy Easter. And then she's like, Joe, wave. And it's like, I don't know where I am. Then it's a good thing he didn't look to his side because the Easter Bunny, aka the angel of death, was directly next to him right there. And so theoretically, I just go toppling off the balcony like something out of Naked Gun. So things are going really, really well for this administration, is I guess what you might say. Things are going fantastically well. This administration is now running the lowest approval ratings that anyone has ever seen since like Jimmy Carter. Okay, he's running lower at this point in his presidency than Donald Trump by leaps and bounds. The Real Clear Politics polling average has him in the high 30s. There's certain polls like the Q poll that has him at 33%, and Joe Biden has not seen the floor yet. The floor has not yet arrived. And here's the thing, the economy is likely to get worse. So the media have to come up with some sort of excuse for this. And naturally, they have. So you have John Harwood, who never let it be forgotten that John Harwood actually moderated a presidential debate, I believe in 2012. And John Harwood, now of CNN, he has a piece today titled, quote, "Biden confronts a host of problems he can't do much to solve." Now, that's always a real bad sign for your presidency. When you take office pledging to solve a bunch of problems, and then you're about a year in, and your defenders are like, well, in truth, he can't do all that much to solve it, can he? It's like, well, that wasn't the promise that was made. The promise that was made is that we have a bunch of problems. We're going to build back better. We're going to get beyond COVID. We're going to get beyond the virus. We're going to fix ourselves on the world stage, restore American dignity and integrity. And then it turns out that Joe Biden does none of those things and is an abject disaster who's being physically steered around by a man in a bunny suit or a woman in a bunny suit. I don't want to misgender the bunny. And your response is, well, did he really have that much control? I know what you're thinking. It's time to binge some more Ben Shapiro videos. Well, you are right. You should. But first, like and subscribe. Perfect. I'll see you in the next video.